Hello and welcome to Patra's Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report number 10. This is another one of the old battle reports I have in stock, and the game took place in early December 2010, I think. My opponent is the Lizardmen player I faced during the Hauptstadt Legionäre Warhammer tournament. Then he completely tabled me. Yeah, but we had a really fun game then, and we decided to give it a go just outside the tournament scene. And this is our second game after the tournament, and this time I brought my camera, or the game took place at my house, and so I took some pictures. Now I will talk you through deployment really quick because I used the same list as in the last battle. I have from left to right 14 white lions with full command, the banner of sorcery and the amulet of light, a tronic chariot, 10 archers with with a musician, my noble on the great eagle with the sword of might, the guardian phoenix, shield of luck, and the potion of foolhardiness, 2 great eagles, 5 Reavenites with a musician and spears and bows, 23 spear elves with my archmage who had the talisman of preservation, I think, which gives her the 4+ ward save, the Valeria's robe, and the silver staff. Then my BSB, still with the radiant gem of Hoeth and the law of death. I think I got this spell. I got to use this setup once in the last 3 games, and I really don't know if I will keep it. Yes, then I have 30 spear elves with my prince, who had the blade of leaping gold, the other trickster's shirt, and the armor of Kalidor, which is outfitted pretty well to kill his Slan, and this is his goal for the game. Then we have a lion chariot, and the black unit in the back there is a unit of 6 silver hounds with shields and a musician. Then we go to his deployment, starting from the left. Again, he has an ancient Stegadon, a unit of 10 skings, or maybe there it's 11, can't see. Then a unit of 3 Pterodon riders, a unit of 3 salamanders with 3 additional handlers. Then on the hill another unit of skings with blowpipes, a unit of 30 Saurus with full command, his Slan, who is incorporeal, has the extra power dice, makes me ignore 6s, and all the nasty stuff. He has 1 additional spell, and the Law of Life. The Law of Life Slan that nobody likes, as Vol said in a battle report not too long ago, and I agree completely with him. Then we have another Stegadon, just a normal one this time, another unit of skirmishing skins with blowpipes, I think 12, 20 Saurus with full command, and I think he has his BSB in there, or the Slan is the BSB, I'm not sure, but I think he's in that unit, and another unit of 3 Pterodon riders, and another unit of 10 skings. Then, in addition, he has 2 units of 5 chameleon skings, one of which is in the middle of the table, or not in the middle of the left flank, next to that old school 40k cardboard ruins, and the other one is on my right flank, just 12 inches away from the silver helms in my deployment zone. He wins roll for the first turn, as my opponents seem to do regularly, and I think we go Vanguard first, and then he wins the roll for the first turn. He just moves his units straight up, and I circle around so that I may go for the chameleon skinks on my right flank with the Reavenites. So during Lizardman turn 1, he moves everything up, drops rocks on my Reavenites with one of his Pterodon units, but only kills 2. I make my panic check, and yeah, so this basically is everything that happens. his chameleon skins kill a white lion, but no big deal. His magic phase, I think, yeah, wasn't successful as well. Maybe he got thrown of vines off or something. Then, during High Elves turn 1, I declare a couple of charges, the first of which was a stupid charge with my Great Eagle in one of the skink units. The Great Eagle, of course, died from the stand and shoot. And yeah, then I decided to choose another target for the Great Eagle and charge the other one into the unit of Pterodon riders that were behind my Reaver Knights. And as you can see from this picture, because it's at the end of the round, he succeeded in killing one of them and then breaking them in combat and running them down, which is absolutely fantastic. Can't hope to do more with the Great Eagle, I think, in such a game. The third charge I declared was with my Trianic Chariot into his other unit of Pterodon riders, who decided to flee. And doing so, as you can see in these pictures, they panicked the salamanders, which were close behind them, who then fled as well. So some really bad morale checks for my opponent there. Then this is how it looks after High Elves turn 1, and we go to Lizardmen turn 2. He fails to rally his Pterodon riders, and just by half an inch he stayed on the battlefield, and his salamanders rallied, I think. Yeah. Then here you can see how his chameleon skinks moving out of charge arc from my silver helms, which I reformed to face them. In hindsight, I shouldn't have done that, but I did. And yes, here you can see his other unit of chameleon skins, which is moving in behind my lines and shooting away at my Trianic Chariot. Doesn't do anything to him. Yes, and here in the middle you can see his other movement. And during magic, his Slan miscast, killing a bunch of Saurus, not too many, and not doing anything to himself. But the magic phase ends after this, and so he just kills the Great Eagle during shooting. And so we go to High Elves turn 2. I charge my archers into the left unit of chameleon skins, and the Reaver Knights charge the right one, and everything else just positions to deal with anything that would come from his side. I'm not ready to make any aggressive moves because I think there's a killing zone there which I don't want to enter. Maybe I charged the Trianic Chariot into some light stuff and had a failed charge, but I can't remember that one. Yes, during close combat the archers kill not all of the chameleon skins, but some, and I win. He holds, and on the other side the Reaver Knights break the skinks in combat and run them down. There you can see just overview of the board, and here's the other side. And now we go to Lizardman turn 3. He moves up his skinks to deal with my silver helms or whatever, and here he makes an aggressive move with his Stegodon, backing up with his Saurus. The Slan is now in the unit of Saurus, if I didn't mention it before. The Salamanders are moving slowly in position, and the Pterodons just in the edge of the board have rallied and are ready to enter the battle anytime after 1 or 2 turns. Now, in his magic phase, he rolls this, so no significant magic phase for him. And during shooting, he kills some of the wild lions, but that's also not that big of a deal. Now, during High Elves turn 3, I decide to go all in, more or less, and charge the white lines into the skinks, hoping that they would overrun into the ancient Stegadon after wiping out the skinks. But then I made the mistake of charging my Noble and the Great Eagle into the flank of the Saurus warriors with the Slan because I wanted some extra combat res, supporting my Spear Elf unit with the Prince that charged the very same unit into the front. Yes, and now the White Lions would likely to not make the overrun because they would stop 1 inch before they touch the Noble and the Great Eagle. That was a big mistake, I think. And here you can see how I positioned myself on the other side of the board, which I'm pretty happy with, because I think the only thing that the Stegadon could do is charge into the unit of Spear Elves, and then I most likely will hold for 1 round, and so the Silverhelms and the Lion Chariot could get in there. The only thing that is a small concern is that the other Saurus unit might get the flank charge. I hope at this point that they will not, because of the impassable terrain in the middle of the board. But I wasn't sure, and yeah, we will see how this turns out. After close combat, the White Lions beat the Skinks, and I decided to stay where I was, just because it was obvious that I wouldn't make the overrun. And then my the other the big close combat in the middle, I just completely didn't anything near what I expected. His champion issued a challenge. My Noble and the Great Eagle accepted and killed him, doing small overkill, I think. But the Prince, with his 7 attacks, didn't manage to do very much to the Slan. I think I didn't wound very often, and he made almost every save. I think maybe I inflicted 1 wound, maybe 2, but not a threat to a Law of Life Slan. So we will see here just another overview of the board on High Elves turn 3. Now we go to Lizardmen turn 4, and now things start to look ugly. He countercharges with his ancient stack into the flank of my Noble on the Great Eagle, which is really bad because I can't issue a challenge with him to get him out of there, because then the Slan would not be in front of my Prince. But luckily for me, the Saurus wouldn't fit in there because of the impassable terrain, so this was a nice one for me. And everything else just moved up. The Salamanders are now in range and will shoot at the White Lions, and the Stegadon is in a position where my Lion Chariot and the Silverhelms can get a nice double charge. Then here, this is just a close-up of this close combat, and this is after close combat. You can see some of the White Lions died from the salamander shooting and maybe from blowpipes, but the main thing is that the Noble on the Great Eagle killed some, I think he survived the impact hits, killed some of the Skinks on top of the Stegadon, and then was crushed. The High Elven Lord, with his 7 attacks, again didn't manage to do anything to the Slan, maybe 1 wound, but the Slan was back to full health after regrowing his own unit and getting off another spell. And the High Elven Spearmen start dwindling away under the Saurus attacks. I think I lost, but I hold.